Okay, here's what you need to know about the total solar eclipse. Now, a lot of people know that the total solar eclipse will be traveling on a path from frickin' southish to northish over the United States of America. And many people believe that this eclipse pathway is actually opening up a portal for humans to receive downloads of information and connect deeper with the universe. Now, what's crazy is if you take one letter from every city that the eclipse is traveling over, you can rearrange it to get a message directly from the universe. And what's even weirder, dude, is if you trace the past 3 eclipse pathways, they form a perfect freaking triangle over the United States of America. And if you look at this circle here, that's the true middle of this triangle. It's an untouched piece of land that humans have never made contact with. And what's crazy is if you zoom in on this true middle of the triangle that the eclipse pathways create, you'll find this is the location where P. Diddy is hiding.
I know some of you guys were thinking that this was actually going to go somewhere, and some of you thought Josh has lost it. He has been chasing these meme coins to madness. But I wanted to put this video out because I want to remind you guys, everyone out there is looking for a sign instead of just doing the technicals, doing the hard work that it's going to take to figure out how to make money on Wall Street. A lot of it's going to be through learning the disciplines. As I always tell you guys, learn, test, and then execute. That's the only path to making money on Wall Street. You're not just going to somehow magically or randomly crack the code of the universe and find where P. Diddy's hiding out and all of that lunacy and madness. I also thought when I saw this video, I thought this would have been the perfect video for April Fool's Day, but I didn't think about it then. I do have a hot tip on P. Diddy though, and it's one that I don't have a necessarily reliable source for, but I've heard that he has been shifting some funds around and heavily buying into cock inu. Matter of fact, the word on the street is that he is really into that cock. All right, I know that a lot of you are just like, Josh, stop. Some of you are still shaking your head going, Joshua, we did not know you. Where did this humor come from? Okay, let's get serious. I have a serious stock and crypto video for you guys today. I'm going to take you into some important charts. And as usual, spending time in those charts is what's bringing me to the table today to share with you some direction and some money-making opportunity in a couple big plays that I'm in and that I'm watching. And I'm going to break those down for you guys today. This is the Stocks with Josh show. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the love. Hit the subscribe to make sure you get the next video. Okay, we're going to kick things off today in a stock that I've talked about in the past on this channel that all of us, without me even saying it, we're hoping might be the next SoundHound, right? This amazing stock that ran up from under $2 to near $10 in a handful of days. And I bet that some of you guys can guess which one that it might be, and that's APLD, right? These guys are another small cap play that I brought to the family, but every single time people have asked me about it, one, before it fell apart, I told everybody, here's where my stop loss is at. I'm officially out. I will let you guys know when I get back in. And all along this journey down, I've been repeatedly saying, it's not time, it's not time, it's not time. Now, I would love for this to be a turnaround winner, but the fact is the stock's getting destroyed, and I've kept warning why. It's because of the way management handled funds, and that was revealed in the last earnings that they basically made more money, but instead of using that money correctly, they basically made more money and went deeper into debt. This causes Wall Street to lose all confidence in their leadership, which means that they're going to flee the stock, because if you make more money, but it drives you further into debt, there's something wrong with you. And so a lot of people believe that there's something wrong with the leadership of this company and that they're not going to succeed. And so this is not the incredible small cap underdog story that some of you guys are hoping it will be. Would I have loved it to be? Sure, but I've been out of it. And again, I was asked in the comment section, Josh, is it time to buy APLD? I went into the charts, spent some time looking at it, and I'm going to say that it is sitting on the cloud of support. That only means that it's come all the way down to historic support. So this could potentially be an area, but here's the problem. And this is an opportunity for some of you guys who've been spending time with APLD, maybe bag holding it, which I warned you not to. Just because it's sitting on support does not mean that it's a buy, because when it comes back to support, it has to produce something else. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. Support and candles have to work together for confluence to give us a signal. And if you add the third trifecta of a good entry position, you're looking for volume. So you want support, you want a bullish candle on high volume, and that's what's called a buy signal. APLD has not given us that. Let's take a quick peek into the charts and see what might happen next with this play. Okay, we're gonna start off on the weekly time frame, and the reason why I'm wanting to start here is I'm wanting to show you some past historic support that we've been coming back to. This initial structural push up, right? It failed here, it came back. When it broke through, we got this monumental move up. So that's cool, right? And then after that, we had this monumental move down and an initial push up. It failed there and it went sideways for a long time. When it eventually broke through that price point, we got another great push up. Well, we've come all the way back to this support level, which is around $3. And at the moment on the weekly time frame, all that I see and what I want you guys to see is we came to support at $3, but this candle has no tail and there's no increase in buying volume. And so that tells me that even if we got a bounce and moved back up to around 350, which I would say is very, very possible, I would say that that is still not bullish. It would still be a concern to me that we would continue this downward trend and ultimately come back to this old support back here at $2. There's no buy signal on this chart. Let's jump into the daily time frame just to get a peek of what's happening there. All right, so the thing that I find interesting that I want to show you guys here is that you can see that we are sitting on the top of this green support cloud. And so, you know, that's really one of the things that you can largely do as traders is you can buy between this support cloud and this resistance cloud. And you can see that the last time we came down and we just touched it, it produced a great big wick, and it was the reversal moment that led back up to the top of that red resistance cloud, right? Here we've come back and we've touched it again, but unfortunately, it hasn't produced any bullish candles. And so I just wanted to point out to you guys, despite the fact that we are potentially in an area of interest, we're not getting confirmation, we're not getting the candles we want to see. And so at this moment, there's absolutely nothing in this play that would suggest to me that it's time to load up. But if you're in it, it's at best a hold. It's not a buy. All right, we're going to go into another important stock, but before I do, I want to take a very quick station break for the Moomoo investment app. Let me take you into their website. All right, guys, right now there is a link in the top pinned comment for the Moomoo investment app. These are better trade tools for mobile traders, and I just wanted to highlight what they're currently giving away. They're going to give you 7 $5 fractional shares of all of the Magnificent Seven. So $5 Microsoft, 5 Tesla, 5 Nvidia, $5 of Google, $5 of Amazon, $5 of Meta, and $5 of Apple. In addition to that, they're going to match your deposit bonus by giving you a rebate of 1.5% of your total deposit bonus. And in addition to all that, any money that you leave uninvested just sitting on the app, you're going to earn 5.1% interest. So you can sit back and wait for the market to become more appealing and invest later, or you can do their fractional share investing, the set it and forget it, and slowly grow your investment count over the course of time. It's available in the US, Australia, and Canada. The offer is for the United States, and there's a link in the top pinned comment. Next stock that we're going to cover today is XOM, and it's been on an incredible run. I'm going to take you guys into the charts in a minute. I'm going to show you support and resistance, but before I do, I want to share with you my fundamental view is we are obviously, as I said in my yesterday video, there are political tensions in the world rising. And one of on the prospective client year in review provided by Goldman Sachs that I read back in January, I remember that they emphasized the fact that there was going to be an increase in global tensions throughout 2024. And we're seeing that. And I just want to continue to highlight that if we see any form of conflict, especially in the Middle East, escalate, we're going to have oil prices are going to rise. This is going to further aggravate inflation, which means that the Fed is going to have to be more hawkish, not more dovish, which means that we may kick those interest rate cuts into 2025. Now, I don't know that that's going to happen, but the fact that XOM, right, this oil company is going up, up, up in price is a foreshadowing of the fact that demand for oil is going to be more complicated, perhaps in the second half of this year, and people are taking an early position. Now, I'm going to warn as I go into the chart that it's at elevated overbought conditions, and I am expecting a pullback. I'm going to give you supports, but I'll also tell you right in advance that largely I think that this move is going to continue over the course of time. I think that the bearish trend that we had seen mostly last year, it brought us down to the lows under $100. I really believe that that's mostly behind us, and I think that even though we might have some pullbacks as we've gotten overheated, I think that those pullbacks are going to be buying opportunities for XOM. So let's look at the chart together. All right, as you guys can see, we're definitely up in the resistance cloud, the red cloud, and the max resistance level for that is around 126. And this thing is so hot, and it's moving like a rocket ship with a trail behind it. Yes, it absolutely could continue to climb up to 126. Now, one of the things that I begin to watch for at this level is rejection candles. We don't have a rejection candle. However, 122 is a clear area of resistance, and we might get rejection at 122. It might try to push above it and come back beneath. So the main areas that I want to highlight to you guys, one is that this is extremely overbought. Let's take a look at the RSI. So this RSI is way above the 70% mark, so it's moving up in the stratosphere. If you go back in time and you study the RSI, what you see is that unlike other stocks, when we get up into this cloud and we get these what I call swing highs, even though the stock price can continue to go higher, it normally falls out of that overbought zone. And we are way high up in the overbought zone. So I am expecting a pullback. Yes, it's possible that we could hit 126 before that pullback occurs, but I would also warn that at some point between 122 and 126, this thing is going to cool off. And the soonest that I would be looking to buy would be 118, but I would warn that if we closed on the daily beneath 118, true support would be a back test to 112. And this would be the most desirable place to buy. And the other thing that I'm going to try to teach you guys is on a hot stock that's had an incredible run up like XOM has, when it eventually gives us a bearish candle and it indicates that that run is over, we want to be watching for a retest of the 50% level on the RSI, because that is the natural place to take a new position. So this thing might cool off. It might come back to the 50% level on the RSI. That could bring the price to 18. It could bring the price to 12, but it'll be that touch of the 50% level, which will be the natural buy signal for the next move up. And it could look like that, guys. So I do think XOM is going higher, but this is not a buy right now. Your buy levels would be mostly, the most conservative buy level would be 112, possibly 118, depending on how momentum, this is the momentum story, interacts with the price story. But this is going to remain hot, and it's going to remain pushing inflation higher. All right, you guys see on my chart, I'm using these red resistance clouds and these green support clouds, and I've become accustomed to using them, and you might ask, what are they? It's one of the Lux Algo indicators. Now, I'm just going to briefly talk about this because I started using it in January of this year. Actually, right in December, I think I bought the suite, and I began to study it in January. And I told a lot of people that if I liked it, if I found it useful, if I could make money with it, that at some point I would make it as a recommendation. Now, I spent a lot of time because for the first couple months, it's confusing. You might say, well, Josh, I thought you're pretty good at charts. I am pretty good at charts, but this indicator has a lot of bells and whistles, a ton of settings. And so I took some time to look at it each and every day as I was charting, and I found where it matched up with my technicals. And I thought, okay, well, this is kind of matching my support and resistance levels, but you have to still learn how to read these technicals. And a lot of people will buy these thinking they're a solution, but not really know how to read them. I'm going to begin to do a Technical Tuesdays segment with a guest who's going to come on, and he's an expert at Lux Algo, and he's going to work with me, and we're going to chart stocks and cryptos together. And one of the things we're going to be doing is I'm actually going to not tell him about a crypto or a stock. And when he gets live on the show, I'm going to let him give me feedback from what he sees the Lux Algo indicator is saying. But all of it is going to be helpful. And yes, they're going to be a new affiliate of mine because I do like what they're offering. I'm going to leave a link in the description of the video for Lux Algo for anybody that wants to look into these further. I found value in them. I'm going to teach them on this page, and you're going to see me talk about them more over time because it is a tool. A lot of people ask me, Josh, how do you come up with these supports and resistance levels? And the truth is, it's a ton of work. When I was recently in Chicago, me and Larry were spending time running technicals together. And one of the takeaways, I think that he would say as well, is that, wow, there's a lot of work being put into these technicals with the right indicators like Lux Algo. If you understand them, a lot of that work can be done for you. And I'm going to try to make what I'm doing easier for you guys. And I think this is a path to do that. So check out the link for the Lux Algo indicator in the description of the video as well. All right, let's get into our next stock, which is PanW. This is Nancy's pick. I actually got on board with this some time back, and so far it's actually been a losing play for me. But I'm going to be sharing with you that we are getting to a place where I'm going to be doubling down on my position. And it's come back quite a bit and become much cheaper. One call option that I bought a couple months back was $5,000. It was actually $5,100. That current call option went all the way down to $2,900, which means that I had a $2,000 loss on that call option. And you might say, well, Josh, why didn't you use a stop loss? Because I'm following Nancy's play, one of the most successful traders in the world, and see if I could make money doing what she's doing. And so I didn't want to jump in and out of it. I wanted to trust the process. And now I'm going to share some fundamentals, and then I'm going to take you into the chart and tell you what I see and what I'm doing right now with this. The fundamentals is that we have rising global tensions. That's what my video yesterday was largely about. I don't see that we have, that Washington is pursuing peace. I see that we seem to be expanding towards global conflict. I think Goldman Sachs understood that when they wrote their prospectus to their clients at the beginning of this year, that there would be increasing global tensions. And what PanW does is they offer cybersecurity. And I think that when anything else breaks out or any other conflict breaks out, I think that we're going to see a billion-dollar deal pushed over to PanW. I think that's why Nancy Pelosi took an early position. She didn't want to take it a day before, one day before she signed a contract over to them. So she took it early, knowing that there would be some potential for loss. But she has been adding to her position. And today I'm advising or taking the position of adding to my position. So now I'm buying more of these calls and doubling down on Nancy's play, because I think that if we have rising global conflict, I think that they're going to get a massive billion-dollar cybersecurity deal, and it's going to cause the stock to soar. And I believe that these call options are going to run up to $10,000 each. So I think that I will get back that $2,000 I lost and possibly make another $7,000 per call contract that I buy. Now, this is what I'm doing. I'm controlling my cost by going in slow. I bought one. It didn't work out. I'm in the red on it. Now I'm going to buy another. It also might not work out. I might also be in the red on it. But this is money that I can afford to lose. And this is the position I'm taking. And I'm sharing it with you guys because I think that Nancy's probably right. My warning yesterday, global conflict is on the rise. Let's see if PanW turns out to be a big winner and I turn out to be a big winner. Well, all that I can guarantee to you guys is that I'll share the journey and I will share with you the success. And right now I'm going to share with you the chart and see what insights we can find there. Okay, the perfect level of support would be a double bottom at 260, but I actually have already added an additional call option. If this continues to trend down, it will lose a little value and I will buy my third one at 260. But ultimately, I believe that we are at a place where this is going to find support. And if we make a move back to 287, this will be very profitable. If we can make a move back to 306, it'll be twice as profitable. And if we get all the way back up to 350, which I believe absolutely would happen if they got awarded a massive cybersecurity bill, this would go through the roof. And so it has come down quite a bit. It has really just come back to previous structure support. That's really all that's happened. And it would be a likely place for this to trend. The last time it came down, it gave a nice bump. We've come back. I believe that this is where it makes sense for me to take an additional risk position. on support for a profitable and successful company that's well aligned for a potential breakout. So support, the price range that I'm immediately watching is between 260 and 287. Close above this 290 level, to me, that is a confirmation of a rocket ship move up. At the moment, we are still in this bear territory, but again, I believe in the fundamentals. Even right now, if it reversed and climbed higher, this would be a higher low, and ultimately, we have a descending line of resistance that I believe that we're going to end up coming back to and touching, which could be at 306, and if I had 2 more of these in my pocket, this would be a very, very profitable trade, even if I locked in profit on 2 of them at 306 and tried to let the last one essentially be a runner back up to 350. There's your game plan, folks. That's what I'm doing with my money, not a suggestion for you to buy, sell, or hold. I gave technicals on some of these stocks in the Discord today, and that's where I'm going to be dropping updates on them more often. That's the Stock Squad Patreon, myself, Keenan Grace, StockMo, and Stock Up with Larry Jones. We provide trade alerts, technicals, and answer questions over there. You can check that out. The link for that in the description of the video as well. Come and join the Stock Josh fam over there. Wraps me up for today. I'm going to try to get a video out this weekend on crypto again, because Bitcoin's got some interesting developments in the charts. I want to share with you guys what I see there. As always, I appreciate you guys joining me today. I hope that you had a successful and profitable trade week, and hit that like and comment and hit the subscribe to get the next video. Peace and blessings. Take care.